நான் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் இன்ட்ரோடியூஸ் பண்ணிடுறேன். செஷன் கான்டாக்ட் செட் பண்ணிடுறேன். அதுக்கப்புறம் ஆரம்பிக்கணும். சரியா?
ஓகே சார்.
Hello all.
Morning everyone.
Online.
Hope you are enjoying the weekend, my dear students. Welcome to GitHub 101 build your first developer portfolio workshop. And today's technology driven world, learning to code is one part of becoming a successful developer. And equally important is the ability to organize your work, showcase your projects, and collaborate effectively with others. Many students build interesting applications, complete assignments, and work on innovative ideas. However, much of their work remains confined to personal computers and never reaches a wide audience. As a result, a valuable effort often go unnoticed. And this is where GitHub plays a crucial role. And GitHub is more than a platform for storing code. It serves developers' portfolio, a collaborative platform, and a space where ideas are transformed into real-world projects. It enables developers to track changes, work with teams, contribute to open source projects, and demonstrate their technical skills to recruiters and organizations. Today, Git has became an essential tool used by students, professionals, startups, and leading technology companies across the world. A well-maintained GitHub profile can effectively showcase your learning journey, technical expertise, and commitment to continuous improvement. In this session, you will gain an introduction to GitHub, understanding the fundamentals of version control, explore the collaborative development practices, and learn how to begin building a professional developer presence online. In this session, I hope this session inspires you to take first step towards creating your own developer portfolio and sharing your work to the world. With that, let us begin today's session. Now I invite Mr. Giridharan to introduce our today's chief guest, Mr. Nikesh, who is our honorable alumni.
So, hello all. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. So, hello all. So, I hope you are enjoying your day. So, come on, guys. I hope you have your chat options over there. So, those who are online, you can post it on the chat so that it will be visible as a comment for us. Yes. So, from first year we have started with GitHub. So, I hope you all know about why GitHub and how GitHub is important. So even though we as a student we have seen this GitHub in a academic oriented way, like how to push, how to pull, and how to create a project and how to maintain a project. So now we are going to have a 360 perspective of this GitHub. So for that, I welcome Mr. Nikesh, so senior software engineer for from sorry. Sorry, Hari. From Quinbay or Quinbay, sorry, from Quinbay. So I hope you already know about Hari. So he's one of our alumni, and he got a lot of awards, and he's running this Tamil Nadu Java user group. So he's a lead member who's taking this Tamil Nadu user Java group. He's one of the team members. So there are a lot of 4 to 5 members over there. So he's one of the member who is actually organizing and participating and presenting various sessions in various places. Maybe you can follow him through LinkedIn, so you might know about him. So he has a vast experience in Java. He has a vast experience in AI. He has a vast experience in the technology which is right now rising. So he's the right person to guide you on these things. So once again, I welcome Hari. So Um, I want all the students to use this session usefully.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
So over to you, Hari.
Yeah. So good morning, everyone. So I hope like everyone have gone through a lot of things and problems and your day-to-day academic activities. But today, for the next 1 hour, let's discuss and let's collaboratively learn something new, which is Git. So I know it's very important to know Git. In the initial period of my career, I really struggled a lot with the GitHub and the Git because I was little less in that particular area. But eventually I came to know that this particular Git is very important for the developers. Without this, it is very crucial for you to push and collaborate with the fellow developers. Okay, so as part of that, today for the next 1 hour we'll do some hands-on. We'll see how it actually works behind the hood, and I'll show you some demos as well, and also some after the session I'll share you some uh, workshop kind of things where you can experiment this kind of assignments or like that. You can take what sort of things you want. And thank you, Giridharan sir and Sambat sir, for providing me this wonderful opportunity and for the great intro actually. Yeah, so without wasting any time, let me share my screen. Okay. So yeah, I hope my screen is visible. Yes, thank you. Okay. So yeah, so this is my GitHub, say LinkedIn, which one you can refer to. And along with that, I hope everyone in this call have your own GitHub account. So if you don't have any GitHub account, please create one because that is going to be your developer portfolio in future. Okay. So please go to github.com and sign up or sign in with Google or any account that you wish to. So once you are done, you should be able to create this account where in your profile you should have something similar to this, or you can also refer to any other pages and build your own portfolio, GitHub portfolio well. Okay. So because many developers, many people in the industry would be searching over your GitHub as well, along with your LinkedIn. So LinkedIn alone is not sufficient. You should also have the good amount of portfolio in the GitHub also. Okay. So more about GitHub we will discuss later in the classes. But before that, we need to understand what is Git and what is GitHub and all these things. And I will just walk through you to all these things. Okay. Yeah. So before getting started, okay, anything in this technology world, not only in the technology world, anything that we are developing or growing towards, always has a problem. Okay. So do you think what is the problem? So what is the problem that Git is solving? So everything is a shadow and of a problem. So if there is a problem, then there will be a solution. So Git is a solution for a problem. Okay. So what is that particular problem? So first we need to understand what the problem is. So once you're able to understand what the problem is, then it will be easy for us to just clarify and just develop that things very effectively. So similarly, the problem for the Git is collaboration. So what does mean by collaboration? So let's say I'm Hari. Okay. I'm just going to collaborate my code to Giridharan sir. Okay. So let's take Giridharan sir. So I write a code which is hello.java and write some 10 lines of code. I write a 10 lines of code. And Giridharan sir is also writing an hello.java and he's writing 5 lines of code, which is not similar to what I am written. So I written 10 lines of code, which is with different logic, and Giridharan sir is writing another 5 lines of code, which is a different logic, different line piece of code. And now we do work in the same project. Okay, we do work in the same project, not the different project. So obviously this or this should be merged, should be similar, or should be have have to have a good understanding, right? But in my file, I have 10 lines of code, which is different. And here in Giridharan sir, there is a 5 lines of code, which is different piece of code. Now, how do we share the code? So we are working in the same project and we developed a file, and how we share it, how we share among us. So how I share my 10 lines of code to Giridharan sir, and how Giridharan sir is going to share 5 lines of code to me. So that's what the problem. So how do we do in legacy is we zip the file, right? We zip the file, we go to the WhatsApp, we put the file to him, we share the file to him. Then what happens? He also shared the 5 lines of code file to me. And now this file is also shared to Giridharan sir in WhatsApp, and Giridharan sir also shared 5 lines of code to me in WhatsApp. Okay, now I have file hello 1.java. Okay, now Giridharan sir will also have hello 1.java, which will contain my piece of code. Now assume that periodically Giridharan sir is making another 10 lines of code. I'm making another 20 lines of code. Now what I need to do to update these 20 lines of code? Again, I need to share this 20 lines of code along with the 10 lines of code to Giridharan sir. And Giridharan sir again need to share me via WhatsApp. So what happens now? When Giridharan sir is sharing me another file, my another file will look like similar to this. So hello to Java. Now in hello 1 Java, I will have 5 lines of code. In hello 2 Java, I will have 5 plus 5, 10 lines of code. And again, periodically, Giridharan sir is making another 5 lines of code. What happens now? It becomes 15. Now he shared this again to me in one. When I download it, I'll have another file. Okay. Similarly, whenever Giridharan sir is making a code change, or whenever I am making a code change, I need to share my file to Giridharan sir, and also Giridharan sir need to share his file to me via WhatsApp, via mail, via anything. But sharing these files is overwhelming. Why it's overwhelming? Because you see, every time when he makes a code change, I am getting a new file. Okay, let's say it is one file, and consider if Giridharan sir is writing 20 files. So on each sharing, he'll be sharing 20 more files each time, 20, 20, 20. So it's very hard to maintain. And now I need to know exactly, Giridharan sir is asking me to change this 5 lines of code. So it's easy for me to just go and change this file, but obviously this and this will get impacted because these 2 files will contain the same 5 lines of code which already been shared to me, right? So there is a lot of complications, very hard to maintain the code, and sometimes it is very harsh, and sometimes it's very frustrating to have these files in place. Okay, so this sharing problem to maintain these versions. Okay, this is version 1, this is version 2, this is version 3. So maintaining these versions, we have this version control, which is nothing but Git. So Git is nothing but a version control tool or framework which helps us to control these versions inside the Git itself, so that we don't want to worry about the file handling or file storing multiple files and handling them. So you don't want to worry about it because Git algorithm will take care of all the things by itself. All we need to do is add a proper or follow the proper protocol to use it. We just wanted to know how to use it well and how to follow the proper protocol to collaborate and do the things. So this is the problem actually the Git solves. And I'm not talking about the GitHub yet. I'm talking about Git. GitHub is a different thing. I'll come to that later. Okay. But now I hope you understand what is Git. Okay. So let's go to the PPT which already added. Okay. The similar example. Instead of hello.java, I'll have this resume for your example where you create resume v1.java, and now you make a change there. Then you put resume v to final. This is my final change, and again you make another change and you put this. Really, this is the final change, and you edit the final change and you name the file something like final. Really, final edit fixed. This is after this. I'm not going to change anything, but you see here on every change I'm getting a new file, and this is not easy way to maintain because I need to have the backup of all the prerequisite files also. So I hope like most of the people here followed the same pattern, but not in the Java or coding, but might be creating your own resume. You might have version 1 resume, version 2 resume. Maybe you might be editing something in your resume and saving that again so that you can have all the resume in your folder. So similar way you need to do. It's a trap actually. Obviously, if you are using Git, right? If you are using Git for resume, even you can maintain one resume in Git. You can control that using version control. I will explain you how it works and all. Okay. And there are a lot of issues when you work as a team. So one person doing this is fine. You can store and you know what it is, and think that 10 people are going to see this file. They're going to frustrated and they even don't know what it is. They will be calling you, hey buddy, what is this code change you made? I don't know. What is the edit you did? I don't know. Please guide me. After you guiding him, after you giving him complete KT, after telling whatever you completed, the other person calls you, hey buddy, what the change you done? Again, you need to explain again. And another person calls again. And you get frustrated. How many times I need to tell this? I already told you this guy, person one and person two, and how many people? Please arrange me a call. It's creating a lot of hurdles, right? So that is the actual problem. Why we are here. So Git solves this in a superb way. I will explain you how actually done an architecture and workflow of Git and all these things, and we'll also do the practical hands-on to see how it works. Because when you do practical things in nowadays in the industry, what I see is, according to my perspective, if you are accomplishing a task, it's not actually enough, because now with AI everyone are able to do anything in the sense they can do anything, like project, they can develop full stack project, they can develop and do like almost everything. The main aspect of nowadays in the technology is the foundation. So if you go for an interview and if they ask you how many projects do you have, instead of that they might ask you what is Java and what is inside it and what is the compiler, how do JVM works, and in Python it goes in a different perspective. You might think, why do I know that? Because I already develop a project. Why should I know the compiler? Because when it goes to production, something breaks in the memory level, you don't know how to fix it. You rely on AI to fix it. What if the AI dooms you? If AI doesn't fix it for you, you are doomed there. So that's why it's very important to learn about the foundation, and that's why we are here to learn the foundation of Git. It's not like we are using AI, I can use this Git also. Yes, you can use Git, you can leverage the productivity, but unless you know what actually happens behind the scene, it's very hard for you to catch up with this. Okay, let's take a real world analogy. Okay, in the Google Docs, okay, so if you are editing something and if you want to have a history and you delete something, if you want to revoke that or redo that, you have the history, kind of a time machine. And you have a game checkpoint. So whenever you play a game, right, not the PUBG, but a game like Prince of Persia or any game, you have a checkpoint. If you die or your health is exhausted somewhere, you will start from the checkpoint instead of the initial phase, right? Since most of the games has the checkpoint. So kind of that, you will have a checkpoint for your code, written code, where you can redo and recome to the same checkpoint and reanalyze and do the things again. Again, parallel dimension, you can do things parallelly, where your friend and you and your colleagues and everyone can work together in the same project, same file parallelly, without affecting the others code. So that these are the biggest advantage that we have in Git. Okay, so whenever something, not only in the Git, not only in the class today, okay, whenever you are trying to learn something, keep three things in your mind. The first and foremost thing is you need to know why you are learning this, why it is necessary. So that is very important. Next, what, okay, what it does. Okay, so all these questions right around that particular concept is very crucial. Okay, you need to know all these things so that it will make your learning curve very easy. So instead of just mugging it, or instead of just mugging some commands and throwing it away, just understand why it is actually in the picture, what it is, so when we need to use it, and how to actually use it. So all these things. Okay, so for here in this particular thing, what is version control? Version is nothing but, let's say, in version 1 I'm creating a base structure for a draft, I'm creating a login page or something like that, and in version 2 I'm adding a new landing page. Okay, in version 1 new landing page will not be there. In version 2, I'll have the draft and landing page. Two things will be there. In version 3, I added some padding and margins. In version 1, there is no landing page, there is no padding. So in version 1. In version 2, there is a draft-based structure, there is a landing page, but there is no padding. In version 3, you will have draft-based page, landing page, and a padding. So now you can revert back to any versions you want at your desire. Let's say if I don't want padding, you can just go to the version 2. If you feel like just go and see the base structure, you can go to version 1. If you want to see all or everything in the one place, you can go to version 3. So you can navigate to the versions, and that's how it controls the version. Okay. So the same thing with and without Git. Okay, so without Git, I already explained to you where you can share your file, where myself and Giridharan sir shared some files. So similar way, I can share it via WhatsApp, Slack, email, USB drives, somewhere. So there is a high risk of losing code because sometimes he might be forgot to send his code, or I might be forgot to send my code to him. So what happens is that particular code is lost. So there are a lot of problems without Git, and now with Git, you can maintain everything in a single folder, and you can collaborate, you can push, you can pull, you can do everything whatever you want. I'll just tell you. Okay. So these are the benefits, like kind of an advantage that you can take for a theory perspective, but these are the crucial advantages that we have. Traceability. What is traceability? Simple but very powerful, where you can see what are the histories. Maybe I'll just show you a demo. Okay, right. I'll take a repo and just show you. Maybe I'll just go to just want to take a good example. I'm looking for it. Okay, this should be fine to have you. Okay. So this is an application which I developed alone. Okay, but I'll show you how it actually works. Here you have a button which is in a GitHub, but don't worry about the GitHub and all these things. I'll be working along with you to explain what is GitHub and what are the features available there. But now you just see what is happening here. Okay, here you see all these commits, right? So each thing tells you what is the change I made to the system. Each thing tells me what is the history. So red color represents the removal and the green color represents the addition. I added these files and I removed these files. Okay. So similarly, I removed in this particular file, I removed this. I added this. In this particular file, I added this. So you see how much clarity, how much traceability is there. So not only that, I can also see when it has been committed. I committed this and this is my ID, and I see I committed on January 15th, and who committed it, it's me. And I can even push and see how are the things being updated and all these things. There are a lot of information is there in terms of traceability. And reversibility, I can come back to any of the versions. Let's say there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 versions are there, right? So now I can come back to any of the versions. Let's say if I want to come to this version, I can come back to this version. But what happens when I come back to this version? All these 3 versions will be got removed. So there are some functionalities are there. I'll explain you one by one. So don't dig more into these things, and I'll explain you GitHub while during the explanation. I will explain what it is and what are commits and all these things. For now, just think in a way where traceability is there. Reversibility is something where you can come back to any commits that you want, and merge is if you 2 persons are working in the same thing, and if you want to merge them, even that you can do. And branching, yes, I'll explain everything in you with a picture visual as thing. Okay, if any doubts is there, please feel free to post it here. Okay, so that I'll just come back and see any queries that I want to take. Okay. Yeah, so about Git, just a story about it. History, which was created in 2005 by Linus Torvalds, who is the creator of Linux OS. Everyone knows him. He's a very famous guy. Okay, so now he's given, it's an open source again, so anyone can use this. And when the Git arrived, right, so there are a lot of impact is created, because nowadays when you go into a company, when you go into an industry, Without a Git, you'll not able to survive because everywhere it is being used. So it's very crucial and it's very fundamental for you to learn the Git. Okay, great. So I'll pause here, okay, and I'll go to the next one, how it works. Okay, so I would like to hear some questions if you have, so that we'll stop. We'll go there from there. Let's wait for like 10 to 20 seconds. Let's see any questions that may pop up. If no, then we'll proceed with the working, how it works. No questions? Okay, great. Then we'll start our hands-on and not hands-on. Like we'll see how it works. If anyone's sitting in your laptop, please follow up with me. I'll be a little quick because we got limited time, so we don't want to put this up. Okay. Uh, just open the terminal. Okay. I'll just go into my downloads directory. Okay, you can go to your own directories. CD is for change directory where you can choose the folder name. If you are using a Windows, again same command is applicable. Don't use the same command what I'm using here because I having a folder which is called downloads. So better what you do is, okay, just click make directory. Everyone do the same. Okay, make directory git underscore demo. So what it actually do is it will create a folder for us which is git demo. Okay, so if let me know if anything is not visible to you guys. The popular question in internet that how git is developed without git. Yeah, great question. Who's that? Nikesh. Yes. So this git is developed without git. Obviously, yes, because the regular fashion way, how we do it, we just share the things, right? And this been developed by Linux OS creator, right? He does it with a regular fashion because previous to the Git, we had this operating system, Microsoft operating system, Linux operating system, and many languages, Java programming languages, and all these languages are built without Git. They collaborated without Git. They used many methodologies like sharing files and sharing they had their own wikis, code wikis, and they used their Google platform drives and a lot of things. I mean, whatever available in that period to develop it. So without Git, it's been possible because Git has been developed in 2005, right? The Java is developed in 1992, and C programming is developed in 1972, C++ 1979. How do you imagine C++ compilers are written in C? Again, all this code need to be version controlled. How they did that using the manual things. So how sharing the files and all these things. So even Linux developer did that. So Git is developed without Git. Yes, without Git it means like similarly kind of sharing files and all sort of things. Yes, they had the struggle, they had the pain, but eventually they had this fruit for us, for their future generation, who is us. Now we leverage this. We even push the Git more forward with AI. I'll come to that okay later. But this was a good question. I appreciate you, Kritikesh. Yeah, I hope I answered your question. Okay, so okay, make directory git demo, cd git demo, click enter. So please execute these two commands. Pardon me if I'm being fast. So you can also listen to the live after that. I think it should be in the YouTube, or you can get to that and you can do the hands-on there also. Okay. Now a folder has been created with the name of git demo. Okay. So before proceeding with the next step, I need to explain you the other three things: working directory, staging area, and local repository. Okay, then there is another one which is cloud, GitHub. But before going to the GitHub, we need to understand these three things. Okay, what are the three things? working directory, staging area, and local repository. Okay, so now I can also add another layer. Okay, maybe I'll just erase this and bring that to the single layer. Staging area, then local repository. Then we have this Git. Okay, so this is how it works. Okay, so working directory is nothing but whatever the code I create, whatever the code I write, whatever the file I write, it will be in the working area. For example, step number 1, please listen this, it's very important. To initialize, okay, to initialize the Git, what you need to do is make sure the Git is installed in your computer. When you type Git, okay, just type Git and see whether something bigger coming into your command prompt. If someone is getting the error message like Git is not recognized as something like that error, and what you need to do is you can go to the website git install, not GitHub install, git install, and here you can click Windows if you are using Windows and click this button. If you are using Mac OS, you can just copy this and paste it in your terminal. If you are using Linux, you can just copy this and paste it in your terminal. You can follow these things, but this one thing should be fine. Okay, so when you click in Windows, I hope most of you guys use Windows. When you click this, yes, a setup will be downloaded. I cannot do this because I'm using a Mac OS. I cannot install it for you and show you how it works, but you can just download this. It's just a setup. You can just install it. Once you completely install the setup, you should be able to find the Git, this entire big thing in your terminal. Okay, now make sure, the first thing is make sure the Git is available in your computer. Even you can check the versions like this. Okay, I'm using Git version 2.50.1, and this is Apple Git. You don't want to worry about this because I'm using this Mac versions. Okay, and once you're able to check the version, this is clear, is just to clear the terminal. You don't want to think that as a separate command for Git. Okay, so Git init. So this Git init function, this particular command will initialize, will create, will bring the algorithm, Git algorithm, into my Git demo folder. Okay, when I click enter, you should get this initialized Git repository. Now you see there is a file being created which named as .git. For Windows user, please click dir. Okay, for the Windows user, please click dir and click enter. For Linux, please click this ls-a. ls-a will not work for Windows. For Windows user, please click dir and click enter. Now you could see a file named .git is being created inside the Git demo. Okay, but when you open the folder and see, you will not be able to find that file because that is a hidden file. Okay, but make sure you create the Git init first. This is the first and very important step for the Git. This is the first step you are keeping inside the Git. Okay, now we are talking about 3 things, right? What are the 3 things? Working directory, staging area, and local repository, right? These 3 things. Now what we can do is, okay, Windows user, please type this and click enter. I hope you should have Java in your computer, or you can just keep text. Text should be fine. You don't want to go for Java. Okay, text. For Windows user, please do this. Linux and Mac users, I not recommend you to do this because this is not going to work for you. Okay, when you click enter for the Windows user, a notepad will be opening for you. You just type something in the notepad and close the notepad. Okay, for the Linux and Mac OS people, click nano main.txt. It will be opening a Pico something editor like this. This is a Git session. Okay, so once you typed something like this, click Control X and S, enter. Okay. If anyone is facing any difficulty in Nano or Vim, or you can also go with Vim. Okay, Vim, it's easy. You can just colon Q W, sorry, colon WQ, it will make you out. Okay, these are the editors. And if you feel very difficult to do this, even you can go to the folder. Okay, you can create new file. Okay, you can just right click and create new file, and you can just open the file, you can edit that. So if you feel difficult in terminal, okay, fine. So end of the day, now we have this commands, and now we have this main.txt in picture. Okay, so in main.txt, what I have written, so this is a git session, so some text I have been written, right? So now this, whatever I written in the main.txt, it is termed as my working directory. This is my working directory. Okay, so whatever the thing I do, whatever the files I create, whatever the edit I do, it initially will be put into a working directory. Just visualize this as a working directory. Now, then what is staging directory? So staging directory is something, think it as a pod, think it as a vehicle, which is going to carry that to the local repository. It's going to transport the working directory to the local directory. So for that, we keep that in the staging area. So which is nothing but a waiting hall. So to double confirm that we are going to commit that local changes. Okay, so how to do that? Okay, how to move a working directory changes to staging area. So for that, if anyone is not sitting in your laptop, please take pen and paper and take a notes of these things, because these are the commands that you widely use regularly. Okay, so git status. So git status will let you know what is the status, whether the file is in working directory, whether the file is in staging area, or whether the file is in local repository. This status you will know. Now when I click enter, you see the main.txt is in red color, which means it is not being staged, which is not tracked. You can tell it as staged or tracked or something like that, but if it is in red color, you can confirm this is not staged. It's in the working directory. So how to stage it? You can use this command, git add space main.txt. So I'm going to add this particular file to the staging area. So that this is a command to do that, which is git add main.txt. When I click enter, nothing happens. But when I put git space status, now you see, now it's changed to green color, because now I staged that file from working directory to staging area. So I moved this main.text. The main.text were initially written here. Okay, what we did is we moved this file. We moved this file here to here. So that's why it's from red color to, it changed to green color when it's in here. So that's what you see here. That main.txt is in green color. So how to push this to local repository? I can do that by just in two step. I can just add commit. So just listen to this. Okay, so commit is nothing but I'm going to tell the local repository, hey local repository, so this is a change I did, so please remember this change. I'm going to tell the local repository, hey repository, so this is the change I did so far, please remember this change. So that's what I'm going to tell. So I'm going to commit with the message, this is my first change. I'm telling the repository what is this change is actually does. I can do created a new file. It's very important, guys, because whatever the name that you give, that's how it is going to be recognized. So that's how you will find it. Okay, that's how you will trace that in future. So keep and name this commits very carefully. Okay, you can name it anything you want, but make it sure that you remember it whenever you see that. Click enter. Okay, you should get this thing like one file change, which is to inserted and main thing is done. Okay, now I check the git status. Nothing is there, nothing to commit. Working tree is good, all good. Now, when I do git log, log is to see what actually I done so far. See, Nikesh R created a new file. So this is my commit. This is how it will be recognized. So this is what I given here, right? So now I can even do git difference. Okay, now there is no difference, so there's nothing is happening now. So what this diff will do, I will explain. But so far, this is the main thing to add the git. So when you add the commit, okay, when you add this piece of line code command, what happens? This main mod.txt is moved to local repository after I commit. So git add, git commit. So git add will move the file from local directory to staging area, and from staging area it will be moving to local repository by git commit. That's it. Simple commands. What are the commands we seen so far? Git init, git add, git commit. So these are the three important protocol things that we follow to create the git, add the file to the staging, and move the files to the local repository. So don't worry about this. I will just come to that later. But now we need to understand this very clearly to move to the next one. Okay. So similar thing. So from working directory, if you want to move to staging, you need to use git add. From staging area, if you want to move to the local repository, then you need to put git commit. From local repository, if you want to move that to GitHub, you'll need to put git push. But currently we are not doing it, and that's why I just put into there. Okay, so that's how it works. The three comments. Please keep these three things in your mind. Okay. Now, so this is how the things been done. Whenever you create a file or update a file, it will be untracked. Untracked is nothing but it will be in the working directory. Okay. Then what you need to do, you need to execute the git add command. When you execute the git add command, it will be staged. It will move to the staging area. So once it is moved to the staging area, when you commit or modify it, it moves to local repository. So that's what we do here, right? When you commit or do something, it moves to local repository. From local repository, you can remove the file. You can do it using git remove. Okay, but if you are going to change or modify anything, you need to do again git add and stage them and do the commit. For example, let's say when I search for, let me clear this. When I put git status, it is going to be the status, right? See, nothing to commit, everything is good. Now I go and change this. Let's open the file nano main.txt. Now I'm going to change, instead of git, I'm going to change it as GitHub. This is GitHub session, and I'm going to add a dot here. I'm going to save this. Okay. Now when I do the diff, you see, when I do diff main.txt, I'm going to see the difference. The minus and plus indicates I removed something, I added something. But here you see the minus is the thing which I removed, which is nothing but the content previously was like this, now modified to this. You see this, how much clarity it is giving. You see, previously it was like this, and now it is moved to this. This is how we can get to know what are the changes has been done using def keyword. And now when you click the status, you see it's in main is in red color, but we already moved that to local repository, right? How come it's in red color? Because we changed something, we changed it, we modified it. That's what it mentioned. If you modify it, you need to add it again to the staging. So that's what we need to do. We need to add it again. So now execute the git status and see it's in green color. Yeah. Then what we need to do? We need to commit again. So git commit. Now I just create a new message. Create a new content with GitHub. Done. Now I give git log. Now you see there are two things. One is created a new file, and another one is created a new content with GitHub. Two things is there. So one I did it. I created a file, and second commit is regarding what I did the changes on each commit. Okay, this is version. This history will be stored. You see, also the timing is also getting stored. Which time I pushed and who pushed it. Everything is getting stored. So this is the beauty of Git. So and this is how it works. Okay, so if you want to remove something from the local repository, you can do it. Okay, but I'll just show you later. Now we don't want to mess up with the data which already have. I'll show you that later. Okay, but so far, any doubts on this? I'll wait for like 10 seconds, then we'll move for the next one. I'm not seeing any questions. Okay. No questions? Okay, then we'll proceed. Okay, so the installation of Git, which we already discussed. If you are using Windows, you can go to the window Git install, and these are the commands. Don't worry, guys. There are a lot of things I added in this PPT. I'll be sharing this PPT for your reference. There are like around 50 slides, and I'm not going to go through all the 50 slides today, but there are huge good content which I already added. But I'll share this PPT to you. It will be a huge reference for you in future for the things that you do. Okay. So this is all things we already done. Okay, this is all the thing we are doing at the previous thing. So this is what we done. This instead of my project, I created GitHub. What is that? Git demo, and from there I navigated to CD. Then I created the Git initialization. I given the explanation for you guys what is Git and how this contains, and we did Git status to see what is a commit. Let's say Git status. See, there is no commit is there, so which means there is nothing that we changed so far. And this is again to create a file. So in here we created main.txt. So in here in the example, we are about to create a index.html file. Yeah, we can do that as well. Just copy this, just paste it here. Okay, now click ls. Now you could see as index.html. When you echo this file, obviously I'll share this for your hands-on. Okay, when you copy paste it, you will when you click ls or dir in your Windows, you will get this index.html file. Okay, you can either open it in your file explorer and see what is the content inside it, or you can also just put a nano command or a vim command. You can just see what is inside it. So there is an h1 tag inside it. Okay, I'll just remove it. Okay, come out of it. Okay, so let's see what is the status. So this is the command. I'll just put git status. Obviously it will be in the red color. Why it is in red color? Because it is in the working directory. Now it should move to staging area. How to move that to staging area? We need to use git add. All right, so I'll put add git add index. So now I click git status and see now it's in green color, which is it's already moved to staging area, right? So the explanation for that and this, you see, when you put this git html dot git add space html, as index.html, this one, it has got staged, right? Now what you need to do to save the history, you need to do the git commit. Okay, now this time I just put a message msg, okay, similar to what I have in this particular example. I do the same, but it's not mandatory that you need to do the same. You can just remove this. I have added the index.html. So when you do it, now I put git log. You see, initially I created a file, then I updated a new content to the GitHub, and I have added index file. So see, there are 3 commits. Clear? These are the logs, but let's come to the again next part. So whenever you are doing it, let's say I added index.html, right? Let's assume that I'm going to create, okay, touch is nothing but it's going to create a file for me, okay, hello.txt. Okay, now that is hello.txt. Again, what I'm going to do is touch hello1.txt, touch hello2.txt. Okay, now there are plenty of files. Okay, now when I put git status, you see there are 3 files which is not moved from working directory to staging directory. How to move this to staging directory? We just put git add hello.txt, enter. Now I put git status and see only 1 file is moved to staging. 2 other files are still in the working directory. Again, I need to execute git add hello1.txt. Assume that there is 20 files. You cannot go and execute all the 20 files one by one, right? Git add hello, git add hello1, git add hello2, git add hello3. It's very hard. So instead of doing that, you can just put git add and dot. So dot, what it represents, it's going to add everything, whatever you have in the working directory. So whatever you have in the working directory, completely to the staging directory. Okay, now you put git status. You see, everything is moved to staging. So instead of moving one by one, I can also move everything at once. How? By using git add dot. So that's what I specified here, git, to move everything. Okay, and commit, again, it's a common again thing that you can do. Add a new files, so you can just put added more hello files. Done. Now you check git logs. Git status is good because we don't have anything in the staging, anything in the working directory which is synced with the local repository, so we don't want to worry about it. When you check the git log, now you see, so initially I have created a new file, created content in GitHub, I added a new index file, now I added more hello file. You see, each version is getting stored. Okay, okay, I came out of it. Let me clear. Next. Okay, this is fine. And git log, that's what we are seeing, the commits and all these things. And I also added some documentation for you, the purpose of why we are using git status and git add, git commit, git logs, git def already we explored, right? And git restore. Restore is something permanent, and I recommend you guys just to explore these things, not git restore right now. Okay, git restore is it's going to recover something back. Okay, I'm not going to do it right now. We will practice git restore later. Okay, and we'll jump to the branches, which is a crucial again. Okay, so branches are again a different set of things where you can have different pieces of codes. For example, so whenever you create a GitHub repository or Git, initially it will be created in a master or main. Consider this as a main branch. Whatever the code you do, add, working directory, commit, push, everything happens in this branch. So let's take an initial example, which is like myself and Giridharan sir is working in the same project, where I'm working in login page. So Hari is working in login page, and Giridharan sir is working in sign up page. Okay, so we should not mess up our code together working in the same files and same repositories. So what we will do is we will create a branch. Okay, this branch will contain all the code, whatever the code that we have in main. So this branch will also contain all the code that we have in the main branch. And now I can name this branch as HariDev. And I can name this branch as GiriDev. Okay. Now I can develop all the login code here. And in GiriDev branch, Giri sir will be developing all the sign up code here. And now tell me, do the main branch has the login code? No, it doesn't have the login code. And do GiriDev branch, this particular node, has the login code? No, it does not have the login code because it only has main code and sign up code. And in HariDev, we only have main code plus login code. Now we need to raise a pull request, which is PR pull request. Again, a pull request. Okay, there are multiple ways that you can do is either a pull request or a merge or a pull. You can do a lot of things around it. Okay, where you can pull request this login change to main, and you can pull request the sign up changes to main. So once it's got approved, like that senior developer or Hari and Giri sir sit together and approve that, and now this login and sign up code will be combined in the main code. So when you check out the main and see, you will have login plus sign up features available. When you check out HariDev and see, you will have only login feature available. When you check out GiriDev and see, you will have only sign up features available. Okay, now you can also do pull. So these are things we need to do it. You can do pull. If you pull, we already merged these two things, right? So login and sign up is already combined with the PRs. So now this changes can come here. So here login will be added and here sign up will be added. See, now I also have my changes and Giridharan sir changes. Here also Giridharan sir will have his own changes and my login changes. And main will contain all the changes the team is been developing. So these branches can be created independently on our own preference. It's not a criteria that each developer should have their own branch. It is a criteria that we can create our own branch in our own preference. According to your own desire, you can create your branches. So how to create it and all these things, you will see that. Okay. So let's create the branch. So how to create a branch? This is the command to create the branch. Okay. So let me name it actually same how we do it. Let me create as HariDev. So now I have created HariDev branch from the main because by default it is from the main. Okay. And when I click git branch, similar to here, it's going to list me all the branch. You see, there are two branches. One is main, another one is HariDev. And there is a star here indicating this is the active branch I'm currently working in. Okay. So now let's see, let's create another branch. Git branch GiriDev. Okay. Now I click git branch. Now see, I have created 3 branches. Active branch is main, and there are 2 more branches. Active branch means nothing but in this particular terminal, what is the active branch? That is the actual active branch that we have here. Okay, let's move the active branch from main to HariDev. How to move the active branch from main to HariDev? You can do it in 2 ways. Okay, the best way is using checkout, git checkout. Use git checkout. Okay, then you need to type this spelling. Spelling is very important. Now you give git branch. You see, now the green color moved from main to HariDev. Now you can even check out to GiriDev. GiriDev. Spelling is very important. Now I click git branch. You see, it's moved from Hari and Giri like this. Okay. When you do ls, you see all the files which is in the main is present in the GiriDev also. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to remove. Okay. What I'm going to remove hello. Okay, I'm going to remove hello.text. Also, I'm going to remove hello2.text. I'm also going to remove hello1.text. Now, when I do ls, you see only I have index and main. I removed all the three files. After modification, removal is also kind of modification in the working directory. I need to check the git status and see there are three things deleted which is not pushed to the staging. How to move to the staging branch? By using git add. So git add dot. Dot is going to move everything to the staging branch. Now give git status. You see it's moved to staging branch. Now you can do git commit remove the hello dot text. Done. When I put git log, you see removed the hello text. It has got added. Okay, but git branch, right? I'm in GiriDev branch, right? In GiriDev branch, when I search for file ls, or in Windows you can use dir. When I do it ls, you see I only got two files because all the hello files I removed it. Now removed from GiriDev branch. But when I switch, when I check out to HariDev, okay, now I see git branch. Now I am in the HariDev branch. Now let's see ls. See, there is hello world. Hello files are still there. But when you in the GiriDev branch, it's gone. It's gone in GiriDev branch where Giri sir is working. But it's not gone in my branch. So now Giri sir need to raise a PR from here to main branch, or he need to push the changes from here to main branch where I can pull. I can do one thing from there, or I can either pull it directly from any branch. I can pull it directly. So how to do it? Git pull GiriDev. Okay, let me do it. Make sure correct access to the repository. Sorry, that's not git pull. It's git merge. Git merge GiriDev. Done. So this is merge, not pull. Okay, merge. I'm merging the GiriDev changes. So what are the changes I had in the GiriDev to the HariDev now? Okay. Previously in HariDev we had the hello files. See, hello files are there when in the ls command. But after the merge of GiriDev, see now hello is gone because I now merged with Giri search changes. Now let me check out to main. Check out to main branch. Git branch. See, I'm in the main branch. Okay. Now I click ls. Still the hello is there. Now you have the history of things. So things you cannot miss very quickly. Even though if you wish to delete the file, it's not easy to do it. You need to just push it to the main or everyone need to sync it properly. So now you have the complete control of what you're actually doing. Now I can git merge with either Hari or GiriDev to get the changes. Git status, it's good. And now I see ls, there is no hello in my main branch. So I'm currently in main branch. So this is how you create a branch, you do the changes, you commit it, you do the merge where all these changes from one branch comes to your branch, and you check out all these things. So these are the important commands. Don't worry, everything I just documented in this PPT. Okay, so you can even switch, you can use this to switch to the branches, and the merge functionality, the same which we did right now. I used git merge of the branch whichever we are merging. Okay, so some merge visualization, how it works. So think this is this orange line as a main branch and this violet line as a HariDev. And you see from here I created a branch and I added 2 commits. And when I do the merge, it brings all the commit from these 2 dots to this here, which is in the same branch. Okay, so that's it all about Git. So any doubts with the Git when pulling the branch code to main code, there is merge conflict. How to overcome from this problem? That was a great question, Darun Raja. Okay, so how to resolve the merge conflict? Let's do it right now here. Uh, in the fashion IDEs, let's say if you are using any Visual Studio Code, IntelliJ IDEA, all this gives you a better visualization of merge conflicts. That is more way easier than what I'm going to do. I'm not supposed to scare you. So that what I'll do is I'll just choose any IDE for you and do it. But for the learning aspect, you should know how to merge these things. Okay. So let's do one thing. Let's check out to branch Girido. Okay, branch. I'm in Girido. What I'm going to do is nano index.html. I'm going to add something like this, the bigger text. Okay. Okay. Good. Now I check out. I made the changes in index.html. Now I check out to Haridev. Oh, I did not commit it. Let us go to check out to Giridev and let's commit it. Git status. So it's not being added to the staging. Let's add to the staging. Git add dot git status gives it is in stage. Now git commit modified the my site. Then git status. Okay, everything is good. Now let's check out to Haridev. Okay, git status. We are all good. Now let me open the index file. Now I'm going to change another change. Here I'm going to add it as my ground. Okay, I'm going to save this. So in Giridev, it's in the different message in the same line. In Haridev, a different message in same line. So let's commit this status. Okay, it's not added to staging. Let's add to staging. Now it is added to staging. Now let's commit. Added as my ground. Okay, done. Now let me merge it. Merge Giridev. So now you see there is a conflict. Okay, you see there is a conflict, right? So what is the conflict? Because in index.html, Giridev, which means Giri sir has been written something and I written something in the same line. So that's why by default it tries to merge all the conflicts, but it cannot guarantee that all the conflict can be merged automatically. So we need to merge it by opening a merge resolver. Okay, in the command prompt you can just go for the git status. You see, still the in the merge you see the message, right? Have unmerged path. So when you are trying to merge, but there is a conflict. Okay, so now we need to fix this by resolving this by sitting with Giridharan sir. I need to sit with Giridharan sir and tell, hi sir, what is the problem? Why is the code is like this? And he can ask me, hey Harry, this changes is required, and you need to do the other changes. So what you need to do is you just open the index.html. You see something like head and Giridev. Okay, now I need to choose what to change. Now I need to sit with Giridharan sir and ask Giridharan sir whether this is required or this is required. Both of us is coming to a conclusion. Both is required. So what we will do is we will remove this. Okay, both is required. We updated the file and we saved it. Then we commit it. Resolve. Merge commit. Oh, sorry. before committing, what we need to do? We need to add this to the staging, right? So git add dot. So once you after adding to the stage only, you will able to commit. So that's it, done. Now now it's already merged. My code and GitHub service code is already merged. When I open this code, right, nano index.html, I see both the code is already there. Okay. And even if I go to Giridharan Sir's branch, okay, now I do the nano, you could see another beautiful thing here where my code is not there. Why it is not there? Because I need to merge it. So git merge hurry. Now it is not creating conflict because the conflict is already created, resolved by me. Now we can just click nano and see index.html. So resolving conflicts and all these things is very crucial. I understand that, but when you practice more on it, only then you will get a good hands-on experience on conflict resolving. Because the biggest problem with this Git is only thing is a conflict part, because it is unavoidable, right? Because the same fellow developer is trying to change the same code, and you are also changing the same code. Now there is a conflict. You need to talk through it. You need to ask him why you are making the change there. I'm making the same change there. You need to talk to each other. You need to come to a solution. Like any one person need to do the changes. So that's why many developers and many industrial practice includes modularization, where you and fellow developers will given a separate module where everything is segregated and written separately. So there you will follow the solid principle, single responsibility principle, all these things, where other developer will not get a chance to come and edit your own files. Okay, so that's how the architecture should be. That's a good architecture, development architecture should be. And yeah, so any other doubts? I hope I answered your question, Darun. Maybe if I a little fast with the comments, don't worry. I think there should be a recording. You can go through that, and even if you can come to me anytime, and you can clarify the things. And similarly, if any other people have any issues in having the getting the comments things flexible, let me know. We can. I will share you that as well. But don't worry, guys. I'll be sharing this PPT. It contains all the commands. So whatever we practiced in the hands-on, right? It contains all the commands. You can even practice that by exploring this PPT. Okay, and also the recording is also there. And for the GitHub, sir, do you have time? I think we exhausted, right? So mostly I just added everything in here. But the thing again, GitHub is something I will explain you what is GitHub. And regarding that, we exhaust a little time. Sorry for that. And I hope I wanted to just make sure I understand the Git better, because GitHub is just a cloud tool. It's not guaranteed that you should always use GitHub. You can also use GitLabs. So this is also kind of GitHub alternative to GitHub. You have Bitbucket. Bitbucket is also similar to GitHub, which is different than GitHub. Then there are a lot of things apart from GitHub are available. So GitHub is something that you can learn. But Git is the primary and fundamental, where you will be following the same for all the GitHub, Bitbucket, GitLabs, and all kind of frameworks, cloud platforms. Okay. So any questions? I'll just open up the question box, the comment box for your questions, and clarify them.
Am I audible, Hari?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, you are
Thank
audible.
you. Okay. So, just, okay, it's almost 11:30. You shared you are with us for the last 1.5 hours, almost for 1.5 hours. Thank you very much for joining at a very short notice. We appreciate busy schedule. I hope the students got a very good knowledge about Git, and I hope today's session was encourage. So today's session will encourage them to start building their own GitHub profile, Git profile, and let us hope they can showcase their projects and take the first step into the world of collaborative software development. If time permits, let us meet again in future. Time permits. And once again, thank you all for being part of GitHub Unknown. And with a small quote, let me end this session. If your LinkedIn is your personal profile, GitHub is the proof that you can actually building something. So start building something to your profile. So start adding your projects, start collaborating with your friends, do some collaborative projects, and make the time useful. Okay, thank you, Hari.
Thank you, sir. Sir, I shared you the presentation. Please share it to the students.
Sure, sure,
Might be helpful
sure.
for them.
Share that. Sure.
Sure. Thank you, sir.